Hello, what's up guys? It's Felipe from the Noob Trader, and in today's video what I'm going to be talking about is my thoughts obviously to the current day's price action when it comes to gold. I'm going to be doing some or giving my thoughts on what's happening fundamentally in the market and obviously the big news events, one that which just happened, one which is coming, and one which is further coming tomorrow. And I'm just going to give my thoughts on the market. Where do I kind of see it going? Um, do I think that this drop that we've seen currently in price, I mean, today we started at, we opened at 1786 about, and now we've already tanked to about 1763 with Powell's press conference still coming in a few hours. So um, I'm just going to go through what I kind of think. So um, obviously, as you all know, I've been pretty bullish on gold, at least for the last at least couple of months, if not longer than that, especially around these prices here. Just because I always thought that, eventually we are going to get back to 1830 or so and give that another test. And we really tried to do that, but we kind of really failed. Or 1810 proved to be a lot stronger than I thought. So that was something that I kind of didn't expect. Um, but I think also there was just a lot of anticipation also building in the market for this particular week or these particular 2 days, because these are going to be some big days in terms of fundamental news events, okay, or economic news events rather. So what initially has caused this trigger of the downfall was the strong ADP data that came out. Okay, so if we go look at, where was it? This is tomorrow. This is today. We have the ADP. Where is it? We have the ADP. Here we go. Here we have the ADP. So yeah, the ADP was much stronger than anticipated, of course, and it was quite a strong jump, right? And it's like, it's been one of I mean, the ADP is never as important as the NFP, hands down, for the gold market, okay? I mean, if you've followed the market for a while, everybody knows this. And typically, it doesn't tend to affect the market this much unless there is a pretty significant um, either jump up or drop below the forecast. And we really got a pretty significant jump up here. And I think this kind of, like, in a market that was already quite tense, right, where you could really see the last few days, there was just not a lot of movement going on. It was just kind of very, very, it was like almost the calm before the storm. And sure enough, when we got this pretty strong showing in the report, uh, I think it really kind of just kind of set everybody going, in terms of people getting concerned that, oh no, this is actually going to cause the Fed to do something really crazy later today when they probably are going to announce the amount that they're going to taper, right? And they're going to go very, very aggressive. And oh, this can really lead to a really, really strong NFP report, which is going to be terrible for gold. So it's kind of just that, you know, it kind of caused that little bit of panic selling in the market, right? And the first thing I'll quickly say about that is that there's been plenty of times that we've seen in the past where the ADP data has been very strong and the NFP data has still fallen well short. Okay, we've seen that, in fact, in the last year. Okay, quite a few times if I'm not mistaken. So this does happen. Fair enough. This was quite a strong report, but it happens more than you think, where the ADP is strong and then the NFP just like completely misses. That's totally not out the realm of possibility. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to state. The second thing is that I think also for today, we have to remember the fact that people are already, like, in the last few days, people were already heavily anticipating Powell's press conference later today and the FOMC press conference, whatever you want to call it, right? And just, um, yeah, basically everything that's going to happen at around 1 a.m. So it's like 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. New York time, I believe, with the interest rate decision. That's not going to change. We all know that bullshit, okay? That's going to continue staying basically next to zero despite the fact that inflation is going through the fucking roof. But It is widely expected that he's going to be announcing tapering. So I don't think an announcement of a tapering should really cause an insane drop like most people would expect to the downside for gold if Powell really did just announce a taper. I think the real question is right now is how much is he going to be tapering? And what is the schedule for this tapering going to be? And I think a lot of people are actually kind of anticipating that Powell's going to be actually quite aggressive with this tapering, given this jobs report, I suppose. I mean, which obviously is just kind of bullshit when you really think about it, right? But just given the jobs report, and also obviously the ridiculous inflation and all those different things. But for me personally, and this is where I just start really going a little bit into my opinion, um, I just don't see why we would expect Powell to be aggressive with fucking anything. I mean, if there's been anything that he's been aggressive about, it's is not giving a fuck about inflation, okay, and just saying fuck it and just printing money. I mean, for him to like almost do a complete 180 and then start going aggressively against that kind of notion or that kind of policy that he's followed for so long, I just don't buy it. And I actually think that this is a little bit of an overreaction that's going on in the market right now. I could be totally wrong, but I just feel like why would anybody expect Powell to be aggressive with the taper? Um, investing.com, one of the analysts there was saying that they were looking at the 15 billion mark and that going over 15 billion would be aggressive. I don't know if that's really the amount which would make the market feel like it's very aggressive versus not very aggressive. If that's kind of like the the line, the drawn line. Um, but again, regardless, I just don't see how Powell's going to be aggressive, whether it's on the amount or whether it's also just on the schedule. I just don't see it. Like he's again, we have to really just look at his actions as of late. Nothing he's done has been fucking aggressive. I mean, just nothing he's been doing has been aggressive in terms of fighting against the inflation problem. So why do we expect him to be aggressive now? Um, just because of an ADP report? I don't believe it, okay? So I think obviously something will be announced. I mean, if so many places are reporting it, I just don't think they'd be that wrong. And it's just so widely expected at this point that he's going to announce it. But I don't necessarily think that he's going to be aggressive. So I don't think there's going to be this serious drop to the downside in terms of gold price when he announces, just because I can't see him being aggressive. Okay, so that's really the first thing, the first main part of today, right? Then also, this is then now leading on to the NFP, which is actually, of course, today is fucking Wednesday. So 2 days from now, Friday, Friday morning in the US or Friday evening my time. Um, the question is that is the NFP now also going to outperform the forecast, which is, I believe, 450 for the NFP this week? And yeah, NFP, yeah, 450K. Is it going to outperform that as well? I mean, I think like overall, just gauging the news recently, just gauging, um, you know, how I think we've started becoming a lot more comfortable with the Delta variant, how a lot of things are starting to open up again, and those different types of things. Um, I do think that the NFP data won't probably be as bad, but again, as I said in the previous video before, um, what's also what confidence do I have in like the U.S. job market that people are actually going to like, especially lower level workers or lower level kind of parts of the labor force are going to want to go back to work. Shit is still so fucking expensive. It's not like, that their life is going to get any better working a shitty ass job. I just still don't really see it. Um, like that we go like, for example, uh, from like totally missing the mark last month to like just overshooting the forecast this month. I just don't buy it. I don't think it's going to be that drastic of a turn. And I don't see why we also need to worry just because of a strong ADP report. Again, there's never, like, while there is some correlation, the correlation certainly isn't that strong. So in terms of being a gold bull overall, I think that we need to just obviously calm down a little bit. Let's see what happens as well with the Powell press conference later. Of course, he could go totally against what I'm saying, just go full fucking AWOL And maybe then we'll need to actually totally rethink about our, or at least I'll need to totally rethink my current thesis on gold at the moment, that I'm bullish, especially around 1750 and below. But yeah, the only thing to really do is wait and then see how it goes, and then just kind of take it from there. But as of now, don't worry so much if you're a gold bull and you're seeing this gold price. I think it's pretty common in the gold market. I'm sure we'll see a little bit more downside later today with the Powell's press conference. But again, you need to let also these news events be digested by the public and be digested by the market. Okay. The last thing I'll point out and say is that if you look at the DXY, sorry, my cat. If you look at the DXY, especially on the weekly, I mean, we're at a pretty high point right now when it comes to the dollar. Like, we haven't been past this point basically since, middle of 2020, right? And this point where we're at right now, this $94 point, um, has historically proven to be very, 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 very strong support, very strong resistance, very strong support, very strong resistance, and again, is proving to be kind of pretty strong resistance right now. Okay, we cannot forget as well that you can't just go into these events and just think, oh my God, when the data is really bad or really good, that it's going to just cause gold, for example, or the dollar to shoot up or shoot down, or whatever it may be, right? We have to also take into consideration that people are looking to take profits. This is a trader's market too. So we're at the very, very high end on the dollar right now. And just because the news may be positive for the American economy or for the dollar, doesn't necessarily mean we're just going to blow past this resistance point here. I think if anything, we may get to a point where we initially blow past, and then people are just going to start taking profits because the profit target has been reached. Okay, because we're at this range right now. Okay. So again, you have to also not only just analyze the news events, but then actually look a little bit at the technicals too, in the sense of, yeah, where are people really going to be selling? Where are people really going to be buying? Okay, so we have to take both of those things into consideration when looking at charts or looking at gold on days like this, and then kind of make our decisions from there. Okay. Anyways, guys, sorry for that kind of rambling video. I just had a lot of thoughts and I just wanted to put them out there. If you like the content, please consider giving us a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll answer any questions that you have, and I'll see you in the next video.